Robert Whitaker wants to fight Sean Strickland at the White House. 10,000 people want to fight at the White House, so it's going to be hard to accommodate everybody, but Strickland seems to want to fight Anthony Fluffy Hernandez next, so maybe Robert Whitaker can fight someone like Michael Venom Page. They're not too far off in the rankings. Might be an interesting striking fight, and it's a fresh matchup for both those guys. They could do Hamza versus Amava for the title, DDP versus Allen. Those guys got beef. Strickland versus Fluffy, since Strickland wants to fight him, and Fluffy seems indifferent. Adesanya versus Bohayo, they've never been matched up. And Whitaker versus MVP, they like to strike so they can strike it out.
John, get over me.
You know you only...
Nah, I don't need that handshake. I don't need that handshake.
You know you only box, right?
That's fine.
You know you only box. Get off me.
Okay, that's cool.
Get off me. You like, boy.
That's funny.
You like.
Paddy Pimblett says that Ilya Topuria is fake. Half his followers are Instagram are fake. He says he's not Spanish or Georgian. He's German because he was born in Germany. He also wants him to sign the contract to fight him in January.
I will inflict pain on his life. He wouldn't come out of that fight looking the same. I hit him with that many elbows. Is this going out to Spanish media? Step up, Ilya. Stop being a chorizo. Be a man. You know, no.
Paddy says he wanted to fight Justin Gaethje this month at UFC 321, but he says Gaethje's sitting out on the sidelines, so he wants to take this fight with Ilya Topuria in January. He's waiting for him to sign.
I thought I was going to fight Justin Gaethje in Abu Dhabi in October, but he's sitting out. There's no one really else for me to fight apart from Ilya Topuria, so hopefully that fight gets sorted. I think it would have been sorted by now if he would have signed the contract, but he's another one. He talks a big game behind the camera, but then when it comes to the contract being in front of him, he won't write his name on it. We'll do one of the biggest fights that the UFC's ever seen. We don't like each other. We genuinely do not like each other. It's not enough.
If Makhachev was still champion, no one would be considering Paddy as a title contender. No one wants to see the Justin Gaethje fight, to be honest. Sign Justin. It's the right thing to do. He deserves it more. It's great for your resume, and a retirement fight for Justin. Much bigger payday. People will pay for this fight. Paddy wants to die. Champion Mariscal versus Pat Sabatini out of the UFC 322 November 15th at Madison Square Garden, New York City. It's actually a rematch. They fought in 2018 on the regional scene, and Mariscal won via split decision. Now they're running it back in the UFC. Mariscal's coming off a win over Ricardo Ramos. Sabatini's coming off a win over Joe Anderson Brito. Sabatini has good takedowns and a really good ground game. If he gets you to the ground, it's going to be hard to get back up, and you might get tapped out too. But Mariscal's a relentless fighter, very dangerous and aggressive in the striking domain. An interesting contrast in styles. It's going to come down to whether Mariscal can stop those takedowns and get back up when taken down. If he can't, he will lose. If he can, he'll probably outstrike Sabatini en route to a decision or stoppage. Some people might be overlooking or underestimating Cyril Gane against Tom Aspinall this weekend, but Aspinall is not overlooking him.
There's a lot of people overlooking him, and I think it's unfair. I think a lot of it comes from his last performance where it was like a questionable decision, but that's nothing to do with him or me. Like, I know he's a very good fighter. He's been around the top level for a long time, same as me, so he's very good. I'm sure he's bringing his best this time. I'm bringing my best. I just got to be patient, I think. Yeah, like you say, he's very big, fast, athletic. So am I. So I hope the fight looks like it involves me walking across the cage and knocking him out in 10 seconds. Do I think that'll happen? No. But I think it's going to be something that we've not really seen before. A heavyweight, two big athletic guys moving around at speed and throwing shots that heavyweights don't usually throw.
Mario Bautista also on the main card, taking on Umar Nurmagomedov. He thinks a victory over Umar will get him a title shot. He's hoping to get that title shot in March.
I feel like I have a great opportunity to shake things up. Umar gets the win. It could be a rematch. He's having a rematch with Peter Yan. Sandhagen could get back in there. It's just a bunch of rematches on the horizon. But I have the opportunity to stop all that. People forget about that. I think he's a great striker. I think he started off striking first. But I think I match up well against him. I think he's great overall. I'm great overall. So in my mind, I just see a great fight, like back and forth, up and down. And it's going to take everything we have to get it done. Yeah, well, Merab showed that, right? Is setting a high pace, wrestling him as well, and that was it. Just setting a high pace, wrestling him, putting pressure on him, get the win over Umar. Merab fights Peter in December. He takes a couple months off. That would give me about 4 or 5 months, and I'm sure he'll be ready to go. And so I'm thinking, somewhere around March.
Danny Barlow no longer listed on the UFC roster. A little bit surprising, but at the same time, he's 2-2 in his UFC career, so I guess his Dana White's Contender Series contract came to a close. They decided not to re-sign him because he lost his last 2 fights and kind of underperformed a little bit in terms of his expectations. He came into the UFC with a little bit of hype, and deservedly so. He looked really good in his first fight. against Josh Quinlan, stopping him with strikes in round 3. But after that, he won a split decision, but missed weight for that fight, and he lost his next 2 fights, which is his last 2 fights. Had some pretty high expectations, fell short of those, had a 500 record in the UFC, missed weight once, so I guess they felt it was not worth it for them to re-sign him. Also, they just signed 46 new fighters from the Contender Series over the past couple months, so they need to cut fighters. They'd rather cut a guy from a previous season who's underperforming than keep him on and pay him more money. They just got 46 new guys for $10K to fight and $10K to win. Melky Costa versus Morgan Charrier added a December 13th card. Costa's coming off a decision win over Julian Erosa. Charrier knocked out Nate Landwehr in the 3rd round in his last fight. This should be a close and competitive fight. Probably 29-28 either way via decision.
Lost my longtime MMA coach, Duke Roufus. I was trying to think of like a mental Monday surrounding it, and I couldn't think of the perfect one. But what I did think of, I thought of, hey, what he really brings to the table. He was so welcoming to anyone who wanted to come to the gym. And I think that's something a lot of younger Americans especially missed out on, is like the value of helping people. I can't see how much better your life is going to get if you start helping other people, right? That could be, in his case, helping kids do MMA, helping kids believe in themselves, helping professionals realize their dreams. He was always very great at that. He was always very welcome to anyone who came in the gym, and that's powerful. And so I think, guys listening to this, if you're in a hard spot in your life, go help someone. It will literally make your life better. So rest in peace, Duke. You really did a great job with me and so many others. So thanks, Duke.
Jalen Turner recently retired, and he recently unretired. He's going to be making his return to the cage, UFC 323, December 6th at the T-Mobile in Las Vegas. He's going to be taking on Edson Barboza. A little surprising, Edson hasn't retired. He's still fighting. He's 37, had 39 fights, and taken a lot of damage in his career because he's fought a lot of really tough guys in his career, but he's still going at it, coming off a decision loss to Jakar Close. Jalen Turner got tapped out in his last fight against Bahamondes. I wonder where his head is at. When you retire at 30, you got to wonder where his head is at, but mentally he feels ready to compete again, and he will return against Barboza December 6th.
See, difference is like for my first fights, I would like with the first punch that I would get hit, I would just like go red and then just like go like panic mode, kind of going forward and then turn it into a brawl. And I mean, that's hard too. I know I always have that in my back pocket if I ever need to just like turn it on and like not care. But out of the years and just realizing like, hey, I'm in there, I'm calm, like there's nothing that's really going to surprise me, like a jab, hook, cross, kicks, like grappling, wrestling. I've kind of been through it all, and now just being calm, it's like you can see everything.
The Ritter was 100K like a week and a half ago from the fight. I knew he was going to gas out. That's 5 weight cuts in under a year, so I guess that didn't help either. That's funny. Ilya is younger than Paddy. Paddy is 30 years old. Ilya Topuria, 28. Y'all a bunch of crybabies, hypocritical crybabies, Republicans, the most disrespectful, insulting, hateful people on the internet. Not even close, but this is too far. I love Valentina, but why is Whaley dropping the belt? She'd make easy work of Virna and Duran, getting too small at flyweight. Plus, she's getting older. I wouldn't be surprised if she goes on a losing streak from here. Valentina's the underdog, so you can bet on her. Age-wise, Valentina 37, Whaley Zhang 36.